done playfully. One of her fellow educators recorded the video. That educator and two others gave investigators sworn statements of ongoing alleged abuse. Dale is charged with official oppression for intentionally subjecting 3 known child victims to mocking, mistreating, and tormenting. Paraprofessional Paxton Bean, seen in the video, is also charged with official oppression and has a felony charge of injury to a disabled child with intention. An arrest warrant claims Bean took an unnamed special needs child into a calm down room on January 16th. The child returned with a bloody nose. Bean told other educators the child had run into a wall. In a forensic interview, however, the child said Bean punched him.
As parents, we wonder, what will we do in this situation? Now today, if you haven't been keeping up with news today, we have 2 school teachers currently under investigation and being fired from their place of work currently because of, as you saw in the video, abuse at the workplace. I think it's heinous. Not even think, I absolutely in the pit of my stomach, in my soul, know that what these crimes are absolutely heinous to the point where why wouldn't you care? And see, this is why I know that we need to have more of a meritocracy, meaning that we should not just give people jobs because they want a job, because they need money in their pocket. No, it's because they're actually good and vetted they're good at their jobs, especially when you are ushering in the youth of tomorrow. But it's absolutely crazy. So we're going to get into the full video right now. But I just want you guys to really understand that I know there's a lot of contention with today's school systems. But if anything is going to come about through all of this bad, let's hope that they uproot things like this. If you are new here, guys, do me one favor before we jump right into this. Hit that like button for me. Let's get this video up to 1,000 likes so that way we can get this message heard, and make sure that you drop down in those comments. Let me know how you feel about this situation, and let's get right into it.
Breaking news tonight surrounding an investigation into student mistreatment at a Parker County Elementary School. 3 educators have now been arrested. The investigation stems from this video showing a teacher and teacher's aide taunting and mistreating a 10-year-old boy.
Now let's pause right here. Hold the phone. Now let's be honest, y'all. And I'm gonna wind it back because I'm doing my own little thing with it. No. And I'm gonna wind it back really fast because I'm doing my own thing, but absolutely not. Did you see how she cocked her hand back to swing at that child? I'm not going to rewind it back the video because I don't want y'all to be unable to stomach it. But she had her nerve to raise her hand up, the follow through, and then walk away like absolutely nothing. All right, and then you're going to see what this next teacher does. But I don't think there's no way in the world that I wouldn't have been up there doing something crazy. And I only say that, and I have no children of my own, but you're not going to be an absolutely grown human being and put your grown-ass hands on my child without a proper discussion with me as the parent. Now, especially with someone with special needs, are you not going to go about putting your hands on that child like that? Now, I would have understood if you took something away from them, if they were going out of their way, hitting another student. But no, you went walking past that child, doing absolutely nothing, and struck them. Sick work.
Inside a classroom. The investigation revealed an alleged pattern of abuse against multiple special needs children. And the fallout from this case just netted a 3rd arrest late tonight. Fox 4's David Santandri live at the Parker County Sheriff's Office with the breaking details.
And then this is just what we're getting caught on camera. All right, and now if you saw the video earlier, you see how even more crazy it gets. But these teachers have been doing this to kids probably for years. And the crazy thing about it is this is something you're going to see right here. Now, I didn't even see this video, but I want you guys to know. Now, hold on. Let me give y'all full up. The only reason they got away with all of this, y'all, the absolutely only reason they got away with this is because there was somebody higher up sweeping this under the rug, because it's no way in the world they're coming back home with scratches, bruises, and all these other kind of things that you couldn't even imagine on them, right? And nobody said nothing, not one time. They were probably writing it off as, oh, your kids were roughhousing or somebody bit somebody else. And this is why you got to be all the way up under the teacher's asses. This is why I'm thinking, like, now I see so many parents, and I'm not talking to anybody in particular, but I see so many parents not involved in the parent-teacher conferences. They're not there on the forefront with their child knowing who's at that school. That's a way that you can prevent a lot of these movie-like cases.
Yeah, Clarice, we can now confirm that the Millsap ISD superintendent has also been charged for her alleged role in this ongoing investigation about these child abuse, again, allegations that we've been reporting on for just over a week now. It was at 9 o'clock just an hour ago we reported that the 2 educators charged related to the child abuse educations we've been reporting on were arrested today. State Representative.
Listen, just imagine. It goes all the way up to the superintendent keeping this under wraps. So not only are 2 teachers, so you don't know how deep this scandal goes, because they're just going to let them go. They're not going to investigate what other schools are letting this happen, what other places this is going on at. None of that. Millsap County, I want you guys to make sure you investigate a little bit further.
Representative Mike Alcott then put me in contact with Parker County Sheriff, and Sheriff Russ Authier confirms to me that Millsap ISD Superintendent Mary Edie Martin has also been charged. That is for failure to report intent to conceal. That's a state jail felony. We do not yet have the arrest warrant for her, so few details at this point in time. However, we do have the arrest warrants for the 2 additional educators who were charged today, and that reveals that they were placed under criminal investigation. We knew that, and then 3 of their peers interviewed with Parker County Sheriff's detectives talking about more alleged abuse and more kids.
This is exactly what I thought was going to be happening, y'all. They got more kids that don't been knocked around, and it's probably even worse than that she's kept under the rugs, because it didn't start with just those kids that were getting hit. I lied to you, did not start with those kids getting hit. This is probably something along the lines of like a typical Tuesday for her. Think about that. Who do you really want shepherding your children into the next era? Do you want it to be you, or do you want it somebody that doesn't give a damn how they turn out, because they only have to deal with them for the next few months? I'm not done with this, because we want to see what else, because obviously they got the superintendent involved, and let's see what else they got going on.
Video Fox 4 first broadcasted last week shows a Millsap elementary school educator slapping toward an autistic boy. Moments later, another educator yells at him.
And listen, they trying to water it down by saying slap near. Because they don't have it on video, she slapped him, hand against face, and kept walking.
I said come here.
Before repeatedly hitting him with a toy, then throwing the toy at the 10-year-old.
Quit chewing on things.
The incident happened in February. Alex Cornelius is the child in the video.
I don't know.
Not even a month ago this happened. So these are the parents, and as you're going to see, obviously, luckily these parents were a little bit more involved, and as soon as this video dropped, they made sure that they went out and got legal help to sue the state, because this is absolutely atrocious behavior. Because let you have been a person of a different color, let's be real, this wouldn't have been national news. This would have just been something on TikTok.
Cornelius is the child in the video.
I don't understand why anybody would want to do this to any child, let alone an autistic child or a special needs child.
Millsap ISD says the educators involved are no longer employed by the district. Now, Fox 4 obtained arrest warrants for both educators regarding alleged crimes against Alex and 2 additional students.
You got to have a really kind heart to be a special education teacher, and as we've all seen, some people just don't have it.
According to the warrants, teacher Jennifer Dale admitted swinging at Alex in the video, but claimed it was done playfully. One of her fellow educators recorded the video.
Where in her face? Now I wind it back 2 seconds. Jennifer Dale.
But claimed it
This is her face, y'all. Look, make sure y'all watching. Where in her face
was done playfully. One of her
ain't no smile on that
fellow educators
she even give him the
recorded the video. That educator and 2 others gave investigators sworn statements of ongoing alleged abuse.
So what's even worse is these women had the audacity, the gall, to do this while other teachers were there that probably weren't used to their behaviors and thought because they probably had tenure. If you don't know what tenure is for some of my newer viewers, that means they were there long enough not to really be able to be fired. Then they thought that they would get away with it. These guys were doing this, and they said there's only 2 or a total of 3 students. Let's multiply that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that have already left that grade or their learning facility at this point in time. And then parents wonder why their kids come back so aggressive, so at rage, and they try to blame it on video games. Whereas times where you're spending other hours not even watching your children, not paying attention to who they're interacting with at a place that you think is safe. Now, this kind of thing can rob that security away from you. Not to say that schools aren't safe for your children. What I'm just trying to say is you need to be more aware of who is watching your kids.
Dale is charged with official oppression for intentionally subjecting 3 known child victims to mocking, mistreating, and tormenting. Paraprofessional Paxton Bean, seen in the video, is also charged with official oppression and has a felony charge of injury to a disabled child with intention. An arrest warrant claims Bean took an unnamed special needs child into a calm-down room on January 16th. The child returned with a bloody nose. Bean told other educators the child had run into a wall. In a forensic interview, however, the child said Bean punched him.
I never expected any of this.
Wait a minute. So this girl... Wait a minute. Let's get this straight one moment. So they have special, what we can say now, because it's calm down rooms, and you have a peer educator go in there with your child. And they punch your child in the face. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't one time. She waited until it made a mark. And the problem I have with this is because these are disabled children. What if these were non-speaking children? Ones that can't speak out about what's going on. Now, obviously, this one had the ability, and I'm not saying this one, but this child had, excuse me. And obviously, this child had the ability to communicate enough to let you know where said incident went down. But let there have been a child that was so afraid of something that already has trauma. And now you have this woman putting their hands on them, taking them into calm down rooms and beating them like they're, what, about to get jumped in a gang? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
As for Cornelius's son, arrest warrants claim abuse was common. Alex regularly subjected to extensive timeouts, inappropriate comments about his private parts, and taunting. On one occasion, taunting until he covered his ears and began to rock back and forth, showing his anxiety.
We want to make sure that these teachers are never teaching again.
Alex's family believes had they
So not even enough for you guys to physically abuse these kids. You heinously went out of your way to ridicule them in their sexual areas, intimate, private areas for children. This is some pent-up rage they probably have from their own lives, but they cannot be venting this kind of stuff onto these kids. Because then it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be left up to the parents. But if these kids were to turn into terror to society, we're going to be sitting here doing a whole research of why did they become like this? Because you had these sickos in the damn schoolhouse doing whatever the fuck they felt like. Feeling like they was damn Breaking Bad up in there. And they about to be down bad. For sure.
not shared his story. Criminal charges may have never happened.
I'm very grateful that the Parker County Sheriff's Department worked so quickly on it.
But we did not expect it to be this fast.
So where do we go from here? Obviously, this criminal investigation is ongoing. There's a court process that needs to play out. But in the meantime, there is a special called Board of Education meeting tomorrow with Millsap ISD at 8:30 in the morning. This has been in the works for several days, so even before these criminal charges were made. On the agenda for tomorrow's special board meeting, it says it will deliberate matters related to personnel, including the superintendent, the elementary school principal, and the assistant principal. There's also an agenda item that says, quote, consider superintendent separation agreement. Again, that meeting tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. We'll keep you updated, but for now, just to summarize, the superintendent of Millsap ISD formally
So just imagine, guys, a place where you send your kids to be safe, to learn, to hopefully teach them morals, aspirations, how to regulate themselves in proper places. And your kid comes home with a damn black eye, bloody nose, and they tell you they ran into the wall. Now, bear with me for a moment because I was going to end this episode right here, but I think that we should take a look at the town hall meeting over in Millsap.
Emotions ran high in Millsap in Parker County over a child abuse investigation. 2 educators are charged with abusing a special needs student, and the superintendent is charged with failing to report it. The district held a special board meeting today that quickly got heated, and Fox 4's Dion Anglin has the story about that meeting. Dion.
Hi there, Steve. An emotional meeting today between parents and the Millsap ISD board. Calls demanding the firing of the superintendent, for now having to wait until at least Monday.
The parents should have been the first to know, yet they were left in the dark.
From the moment it began.
As a mother, I trusted the school system to protect my child and ensure his safety.
Through an executive.
Now listen, this is what I need for us to do when even if somebody spit on one of our children, we need to be over and under the seats, just like this. I love that they all turned out for all of this stuff because I'm not going to lie to you. These teachers should be happy that they are in pitchforks and torches at their front door. And I'm for real, though. Because now I know that all of these parents are sitting there thinking like, if this is mine, if this is my baby, I know all these parents are sitting there thinking like, now if this was my baby, it's going to be on and popping up in that school.
School system to protect my child and ensure his safety.
Through an executive session and beyond.
We're wasting time by not adding it all so we can get answers quicker.
Emotions were on display at a Millsap ISD special called meeting Friday.
An action to be placed on the agenda to hire outside an investigator that has not been involved in this case at all.
The meeting subject, next steps in a classroom child abuse investigation. 3 district employees, including the superintendent, were arrested in wake of a video that shows a teacher and teacher's aide mistreating 10-year-old Alex Cornelius. Special ed teacher Jennifer Dale and paraprofessional Paxton Bean are charged with official oppression. Bean is also charged with injury to a child for a separate incident. Superintendent Marie Edie Martin is charged with failing to report the alleged child abuse. The boy's mother says 3 weeks passed before she was notified.
She needs to go. She needs to go today.
Parents had hoped Friday's meeting would end with Martin's firing, yet she will remain on unpaid leave with a decision on termination now delayed until Monday.
This woman is giving y'all bad advice. Y'all need to replace her.
I want you guys to consider how you're going to conduct this investigation where these teachers who have been led by fear and silence for so long can actually feel like they can speak up.
We are, again, placing it on the agenda on Monday to go back and to make sure that everyone has been investigated fairly.
The meeting scheduled for Monday will address the personnel matters, an outside investigator, and likely nepotism in hiring. The State Board of Education member representing the region also shared with board members his opinion in the matter stemming from the video that includes disturbing and criminal classroom behavior.
If you would have reached out to those parents, you would have the facts and information. I know your investigation will not have been complete yet, but you would have the facts and information to know that you shouldn't come out with a statement defending your superintendent. You would have had enough information to know that.
Now, another issue discussed at today's meeting, the future consideration for having cameras in all special education classrooms throughout the district. That's the very latest live. Steve, back to you.
All right, Dion England.
What do you all think of that? Do you think that parents should have access to cameras inside of the children's classrooms? To helicopter parent? I don't know if we need to go that far, but at the same time, because the thing is, sending your children to school is also allowing them to learn responsibility. You send them out to a place to uphold the principles and values that you have at home. But I do think that things are about to take a drastic change in the near future. Since everybody has a Ring doorbell or have smart homes, why not smart schools? And I really, really, really would love to hear what you guys have to say about that down in those comments. So if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. I hope this didn't get you too up in an uproar. It did get me a little heated, but let's take this out of here with some smooth music. And as always, my good people, live as long as you want, never run as long as you live, and always squeeze the best juice.